My name is Jenny Harden. I am conducting this interview on behalf of Unity Hospice. Today we are interviewing Audrey de la Bruere. The date is November 3rd, 2015, and this interview is being conducted in Elgin, Illinois. The purpose of this interview is to record the veteran experience of Audrey de la Bruere for the Veterans History Project. Can you please tell me your full name?
Audrey Janine de la Bruere.
Okay, and what is your date of birth?
12/13/30.
And what branch of service did you serve in?
The Navy.
And what was your highest rank that you had?
I had one stripe.
What was that called? What was that rank called?
I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's
I
fine.
was just getting ready for my second one when I was discharged.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
And did you serve in any war or conflict?
I was during the Korean War, but I did not go into overseas.
Okay, all right. So tell me, where were you born?
I was born in a little town called Meredosia, Illinois.
Okay. Where's that at about?
It's down near Jacksonville.
Okay, all right. And tell me your parents' names.
My mother's name was Minnie Gaddis Davis.
That was your, okay.
Lloyd, all together. She had two husbands.
Oh, okay. And your dad?
My dad, I never met, but his
Okay.
name was, now I can't remember.
That's okay.
Okay.
What was your mom's occupation? What did she do for work?
She didn't work that I ever know.
Okay.
Yeah.
She stayed home and took care of the kids?
Yes.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have a half-sister and a half-brother.
Okay. What are their names?
Helen, Floyd, and Dyerkoff now. She's married.
Okay.
And my brother was had his name changed because when my mother passed away, she gave him to the cousin to raise because they wanted a baby so bad and couldn't have one. And they were into the church that goes all over and travels and stuff.
Okay.
And they took him away, and we never found him for years and years. And one day my uncle went down to Meredosia and found him digging graves, and that's how we located him.
Oh.
And then we became friends for a while, and then he passed away.
He did, okay. Was any of your other family members in the military?
My husband and my son
What's
were
your husband's name?
Ernest Rennie de la Bruere,
Okay.
and my son is Kevin Ernest de la Bruere.
Okay. Do you have any other children?
I do. I have a daughter who died at 45. Her name was Debbie. She had lung cancer. And I have a son named Mike de la Bruere, which we have lost contact with because of various reasons. I have a son named David Mark de la Bruere, who lives in Owasso, Oklahoma. And my son Scott de la Bruere, who takes charge of me, who lives here in Elgin, Illinois.
Oh, okay. So your son joined the military as well?
Yes,
Yes. Which one?
Kevin.
Kevin. And what branch of service did?
Navy, of course.
Navy, of course.
Yeah.
So what made you choose the Navy?
Well, I met this recruiter who gave me a nice talk about, and it sounded like something I should do because I was at a loss at that time of what I wanted to do with my life. And so I did it, and I'm glad I did because I grew up, I learned a lot of things, and I learned discipline, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. How old were you when you joined the military?
20,
20.
yes.
Okay. And so what were you doing before you entered the service then?
I had been going to school, but I flubbed up, to be
Okay.
honest,
Okay.
because I just was having fun and not doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So I decided it was time to leave and find something else to do.
Okay. So you served in the Navy and you enlisted, correct? You were not
Right,
drafted?
no.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about when you joined the Navy. What was your mother's reaction?
My mother was dead. It
She
was
was,
my
okay.
aunt that raised me.
Okay.
She wasn't really too wanting me to go, of course,
Okay.
because she raised me from the time I was 6.
Oh, okay.
And, but as I said, she came around, and she came to visit me at Great Lakes when I was there for boot camp.
Okay. And what year did you go for boot camp?
That was in 1951.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the day that you left for boot camp. When you woke up that morning and went, today's the day. Do you remember how you felt then?
I think it was anticipation
Yeah.
more than anything, yes, yeah. But I went by train, and I was stationed at Great Lakes Naval Station,
Okay.
and we had a lot of marching we did there, and we made a movie with Esther Williams called Skirts Ahoy. We did all the marching, and she did the close-ups. And I learned, for one thing, you learn to eat fast because you march everywhere you go, and you have to get up and leave when they tell you.
Right, right.
So sometimes at the beginning, my food didn't all get eaten because I didn't realize it at the beginning.
Right.
But as I said, I had a nice time there.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed everybody.
Yeah.
They were all good people.
Was it hard to adjust? You had mentioned talking about eating fast, and was it hard to adjust from civilian life then to military life of eating fast and being more active, and was it difficult for you?
No, not
No.
really, because
Okay.
we had a good leader, and we had a good cadence counter who
Right.
led us to all our lunches, breakfasts, and dinners.
Did you have a favorite cadence?
Well, there was one I remember. Let's see what it went. Your left, your left, your left, your right, your left. And
Yeah.
we just kept marching to it. We
Yeah.
had different ones, and things.
Did any of your instructors make an impact on you? Do you remember any of them to this day?
I remember the one who is in the picture that you're going to show.
Okay.
I cannot remember her name now, but she was very good with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was it basic training being with were you with all women through training?
Yes.
Yes. How was that?
It was fun.
Yeah, you liked it. Did you make some good friends while you were in basic training?
yeah.
Yeah. That's good. What was your favorite part about basic training? Was it the training, the rifles, shooting the guns? Was it marching? What was your favorite part of basic training?
Well, I think I enjoyed most of it because it was all different than anything I'd ever done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Did you receive any kind of specialized training while you were in basic?
No, but I was recommended for personnel school, and then I went to Norfolk, Virginia,
Okay.
and I took up personnel work, and I worked in an office with all civil service workers.
Okay.
So I did filing, typing, and all that kind of stuff.
Was that your job then in the
Yes.
military?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you do your training for that?
In
Or you did it
Norfolk.
in Virginia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Virginia.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the first time in basic training you learned to shoot weapons, correct?
I never did do that.
You never
no.
did do
No,
that?
no.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the actual time that you served during Korea, okay?
Okay.
What are some of the memories that you have of while that war was going on and you were back home? What are some of your memories you have?
Well, as I said, my work was simple because I just worked in office, and mostly it was ladies that worked there. And but my way going out, I think I remember most where I learned about segregation, and I was very impressed because to me it wasn't reality until I actually saw all this. And I learned they had to all stand at the back of the line before they could get on the train. They had separate toilets, separate dining rooms, and separate seating. They all had to wait in line for the bus in order to get on, and they had to go to the back of the bus.
And these were women that were serving in the Navy with you? Or were these
These
civilians?
were just civilians in
Okay.
general, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was one of the biggest impressions I had.
Mm-hmm. How did that make you feel when you would see?
I was absolutely couldn't understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I never had that kind of feeling about it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your duties. What kind of you did processing, you did paperwork, things like that.
Right.
Did you do maybe soldiers coming in, soldiers going out? What was your specific job?
No, I just did whatever they handed me to do.
Whatever they handed you?
Yeah,
Okay.
orders and different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you live on post?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah, I lived
Okay.
in the barracks. Mm-hmm.
In the barracks. Was it all women in the barracks?
Yes.
Yeah. What was barracks like life? What was that like for you?
Well, it was a little difficult at first because I got a top bunk and I was very short. But I learned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many females were in your barracks room?
Well, we had 4 bunks in one area each time, you know,
Okay.
all around.
Okay.
And you had to take care of all your own washing and all that stuff. So I learned a few things because my aunt was very careful with me. I wasn't allowed to do anything. She did
Oh, okay.
everything. So
And that's part of why you said you had to grow up,
Right,
because you had to
right.
then do your own laundry and do your own. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what you did on your past time. Maybe when you were off of work for the day or on the weekends. What did you do for fun? Maybe with your the other people you were serving with or civilians that you had met.
Well, when I was in Norfolk, I met my husband-to-be, and we used to go over to the club dancing. And as I said, we had two children, so I had to leave in the end of my year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went dancing with your husband. What was your favorite dance music? What kind did you like to move to?
Harbor Lights was one of them.
Yeah.
But we did Jitterbug too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long were you and your husband married?
55 years.
55 years.
Mhm. And we both went back to my ISU
Mm-hmm.
and got our degrees with 2 kids and taking care of them and living in a barracks across the way from college.
Good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you. Do you keep in touch with anybody still that you knew from your time that you served?
No, I'm afraid not.
No?
No,
Okay.
because we had a very busy life.
Right, right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about while during the war, when maybe you heard of casualties, or how did you feel about that war while it was going on?
Well, I didn't really concentrate too much on it, actually. I just did what I had to do.
Did your job?
Yeah. But no, we didn't hear too much where I was about
Yeah.
casualties or anything like that, because it was mostly just,
Right.
as I said, civil service type work.
Sure.
And stuff.
Do you remember where you were when the war ended?
Probably back in Springfield or Bloomington, one or the other.
Okay. How long did you serve? How
1
long?
year.
1 year.
Exactly.
Okay. Good for you. So when you got out after your year, why did you get out? You said because of the
it
children?
was- yes, at that time you weren't allowed to have children and be in the service
Oh,
for women.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was there 4 years till my husband finished
Okay.
his, and I had 2 children at the Naval Hospital, which was quite an experience too. 'Cause
Right.
I was very naive at that time. I slapped the doctor in the face
Oh.
when he put the mask on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. And what did your husband do in the service?
Well, he was on the USS Worcester, which was a
Okay.
carrier, and he did go overseas for a little while. But afterwards they had put him back to where I was in the Naval Air Station, and he also did personnel work there.
You said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so you did your year, and then you got out. Was it easy to kind of readjust back to being a civilian versus being in the military?
Yes, it was.
Did you miss it? when you got out, or were you ready?
Not really.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, because I went back to school and I got good grades this time.
Ah, there you go.
I had something to work for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. So tell me a little bit I want to hear some stories. I know that you have some stories, maybe of different things you did while you were in, or stories of your husband maybe that you want to share. So tell me some stories or memories you want to share with me.
Well, for one thing, on the way to have my first child, which I didn't know anything about how to do it even or nothing, we ran into a ditch, and someone came and picked us up and took our last $5 to do it.
Oh my gosh.
So, and when I got to the hospital, I walked the bed because I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. They kept trying to make me lay down.
How old were you then?
21.
21.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. And
what did you think about the Naval Hospital, giving birth there? What did you think about it?
It was like a cattle stall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were just curtain on each side and a railing on the bed.
Yeah.
In each place. And your husband was not allowed in. It was just you there by yourself.
Oh my gosh.
And of course they came and checked on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any feelings about that they wouldn't let you remain in the service with children, or was it just kind of that was the thing back then? And I mean, did you have were you maybe if you wanted to stay in and they wouldn't let you, did that?
That didn't bother me.
No. Okay. All right. And you had both your children at the Naval Hospital?
I had 2 there, yeah.
Yeah?
And my other ones I had elsewhere.
Okay.
When we got home.
How long did your husband serve?
4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
And went back to school on the GI Bill.
You did?
Both of us.
You both did. And what did you go back to school for?
We became teachers.
Oh, what did you teach?
I taught elementary school, and he did elementary, junior high, and became a principal. And so
very good. And are you now a member of any kind of veteran organizations?
No.
No? Okay. No. Was your husband?
No.
Like VFW American Legion? Okay. So let's reflect a little bit kind of on your service. How did it affect your life by serving that year in the military?
It made me a more stable person, and I got confidence because I used to hang my head and wouldn't even look at anybody.
Right.
And I realized I was as good as the next person, and so I think it gave me a whole new motive of life.
Yeah. What was it like being a female in the Navy?
I had good people. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never any kind of backlash or anybody criticizing being a female in the military. That's good. That's very good. And so what are some life lessons maybe that you've learned that you want to share?
Well, I think one thing, anybody who wants to get an education can do it. If I could do it with 2 kids and take care of them too, I think anybody can do it. So I don't think there's any excuse for that. You have to want to, and you have to make your own way to do it.
Right. And so your one son joined the military. When he came to you and said, "Mom, I'm going to be in the Navy," what was that conversation like?
Cried.
You cried?
Because that was my empty nest then.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was on the submarine down in Florida, and he was going to be a nuclear engineer. But as it turned out, he came back. After a couple of years, he got out. He was going to be a lifelong person, and he joined the firefighters out fighting fires, and then he went to school and became a nurse, and he worked in the hospital in Ames, Iowa, and then he worked for the Veterans Clinic, running that in Bettendorf, and now he's back to Ames, Iowa, and in administrative posts.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Did any of your other children ever consider maybe joining the military?
Nobody else was interested.
Nobody else was interested?
Nope. Or even going to school. Both of us were teachers.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Oh. And so if you had somebody come to you right now, fresh out of high school, and they say, what should I do with my life? I want to join the military. What would you say to them?
I would say, if you want to do it enough, then do it.
Yeah.
But think carefully before you decide.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts right now about war and what's going on currently overseas, Iraq, Afghanistan? How do you feel about all of that?
I just feel that it's terrible, and there's too much killing going on in this world. We should find some way to find peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that we'll get to that eventually?
I'm hoping so.
Hoping so.
Yeah.
Me too. So, is there anything else that you haven't shared? I want to know more about being a female in the military. When you went to join the Navy, did you get any? What did they say when you were a female and walked in the recruiter's office, or how were you? Did you get any kind of reaction, or was there? No. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
I know the old saying, but I'm.
You can say it. Go ahead.
They used to say, "Join the Navy and ride the waves."
There you go. That's all right.
I never found that true.
Okay. All right.
But there were not the sailors and those people saying it was other people, civilians.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you wish that you could have gone overseas during the Korean War? I mean, was there times where you were maybe sitting in your office wishing you were?
No.
No.
No, I enjoyed the work I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
That's good.
And I had a good staff working in there with me.
Yeah. So you were teaching then after. Were you teaching here? Were you local to Elgin teaching? Where did you do your?
Well, I taught in Leroy, Illinois for a year. Then I went to Lincoln, and we 2 years, and then we went to Crystal Lake.
Okay.
And we were there. Let's see, it's about 6 years, I guess. And then my husband got a principal's job in Arlington Heights, and we moved there because the commute was just horrible on Route 62.
Yeah.
So that's where we spent up, and that's where I just came from when I came here.
Okay. How many years did you teach then?
I only taught about 6 years.
Okay.
Because I had 3 more kids.
Okay.
And it was just too difficult. But then I did do substitute teaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, how many grandkids do you have?
14.
14. And how many great-grandkids?
9.
9.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So one day they might be looking back on this recording of you and saying, that's my great-great-grandma.
Right.
What do you want to say to them? What do you want to leave for them?
I want them to know they were loved and that they can do whatever they want to do. They just have to make up their mind to do it and keep on the path of righteousness.
Yeah. And join the Navy, right?
If they want to.
That's great. I want to show these pictures that you shared with us. So I'm going to show this one first. I'm going to show it and then I'm going to hand it to you. And if you want to tell me a little bit about it. Tell me a little bit about that picture. When was that taken?
September 1951.
Was that basic training or was that?
That was boot camp.
Boot camp. Okay. All right. So those are the girls that you marched with, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the girl kneeling down was the one who was our cadence leader.
Okay.
And the one in the middle is our platoon leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember that picture being taken?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm with this one right here.
Let me see if I can zoom in enough for you. Right there on the end, right?
On the second row.
Second row? Let me see if I can zoom in that for you. Yeah, I think so. So was this taken before basic training or before boot camp? Was that taken at the end of boot camp? When was that taken?
Well, it must have been near the end because I was in Norfolk in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed your uniforms that you're wearing there. Was that what you wore every day or was that your dress uniform? Or?
No, that was just the uniform we wore in basic training.
Okay. And then did you, once you went on to Virginia then, did you have a uniform that you had to
Yes,
wear?
we had blue ones and we had white ones for dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wore the blue ones just every day
Yeah.
wear? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think of when you look at that picture?
Just of good times.
Good times?
Good times, yeah.
Do you have what was any of those maybe best friends that you had or your closest friends during that time? I mean, can you look at their faces and have memories come back to you?
There were two who became my bridesmaids, matron of honor and bridesmaid.
What are their names?
One was Helen and one was Pat.
Okay. And you lost touch with them then?
Yeah.
Okay. But you stayed friends with them long enough to have
yeah.
them be part of your wedding.
Right.
That's great. That's great. Okay, I'm going to share this next one. It says honorable discharge from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. This is to certify that Audrey Janine de la Bruere was honorably discharged from the United States Navy on the 25th day of July, 1952. This certificate is awarded as a testimonial of honest and faithful service. And it's signed by J.J. Queenie, Lieutenant, U.S. Navy, retired. I'm going to show it here, and I'm going to... So, honorably discharged. So, after your year of service, that's what they gave you,
Right.
correct?
Right.
So, when they handed that to you, is that kind of like the official, you are done with the Navy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel on the last day?
Well, I still have my husband and my kids, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kept you busy?
Oh yeah.
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 That's good. When you were little, did you ever think that you would grow up and join the Navy?
No, the only thing I wanted to be from first grade on was a teacher,
Was a teacher.
because I had the best teacher I ever had.
In first grade?
In
Do you
first
remember
grade.
her name?
Keener. Yeah, Miss Keener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. She was a good influence
Yeah.
on you. So I want to know, so you went from first grade wanting to be a teacher. What was the snapping point then for you that said, I'm going to join the Navy? I know you had said you went to college, right?
I went to college, but I goofed off. I cut
Tell me what-
classes and played cards, and
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Tell me what you mean by goofed off. So,
yeah, that's what I did. I just was never allowed to do anything or go anywhere in high school, so I
Yeah.
did all the things you would want to do in high school. Went to
Oh.
dances, went to games, went to... did
why
everything.
were you not allowed to do it in high school?
Because my aunt was afraid something was going to happen to me. She was older,
Yeah.
and my mother had made 2 mistakes with husbands, and she just didn't want me to get hurt.
Sure.
But at that time, I didn't understand it until
Right.
later.
So when you were over in Virginia, did you get mail from your aunt or from
Oh,
any
yes.
family?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
So what was it like? Was it mail call and they would yell out your name and give you
And
your
give
mail?
you your mail, yeah.
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 Okay. So who kept in touch with you the most while you were over there?
Probably my aunt,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did she send you care packages or?
No, but when we
Letters?
got, when we moved into our first home, well, it was still like a barracks thing, but it was a home. She did buy a new rug for our floor, and she always gave gifts to my kids. so-
Yeah. That's nice.
And we stayed with her when we came back from the service for the summer till I went to school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I know that mail call's important.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's
nice
important
to
to
know.
most veterans.
Yes,
I think.
it
I
is. It's
Don't know
nice-
how much on care packages veterans really appreciate.
Yes, that's true. So, when your husband was overseas, did you send him mail and care packages and things?
No,
No.
no. We
How
didn't.
did you keep in touch with him?
Well, we weren't married when he was overseas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Were you able to keep in touch with him though? Were you able to write him letters or
No,
no?
not at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, what else do you want to share? Maybe some other memories, maybe some other stories that you want to share.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else I know. I think I had the opportunity to grow up and appreciate my own self. And I think if you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to.
Yeah.
And I also learned that you have to have rules and regulations, and I think that discipline has always stood with me. even now here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, how often do you get to see your grandkids now? Do they come visit you?
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Do
Yeah.
you ever share with them your stories of being in the service?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Maybe
My
someday.
grandkids know about it, but my great grandkids don't yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this will be archived for them to watch for years and years and years to come. So I think it's great.
I think it's a wonderful project.
Yeah, it is. So anything that else you want to leave with us?
Just thank you for what you do also. I appreciate, and thank you for your good work.
You're a sweetheart. So on behalf of Unity Hospice, Audrey, we want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for your time in the Navy. Thank you for sitting down and recording with us. So
You're quite welcome.
thank you.